This Monday. Hi, y'all.
Hey guys.
How's everybody doing? Hope you are well. Um, Today feels like the Mondayiest of the Mondays. Maybe it's just me.
Nope, it's a Monday.
It
Mondays.
feels like Monday, and that's all. But as I always say, Monday is still the day that the Lord has made.
hmm
We will rejoice. Come on, somebody. And we will be glad in it. Welcome to Maximize Monday. I'm Pastor Nick, and of course, Maya. Uh, we're so glad you can join us this Monday morning. It's Monday afternoon, excuse me. Please do us a favor and share this if you can. We'd love for you to uh, share this with your followers, tag somebody, get somebody on. Of course, if it's your first time watching, please type VIP in the chat. We would love to welcome all of our first time watchers, those of you who watch normally. Um, we see the numbers. Please do us a favor and just shout us out so we know who is watching. Just want to provide some ministry, some entertainment, some discussion for those of you just in general, but also those who are if it's your lunchtime. We started this because it was like a lunchtime thing,
Yeah.
and
Pandemic.
with the pandemic and people working from home, I don't know. I'm sure people still have lunchtime at 12 noon. Uh, Either way, we're just glad whenever you are watching it. Hi, Tiff. Hi, Caroline. How Carolyn? Excuse me, Carolyn. How are you? Um, if you missed service yesterday, you need to go back and watch it. We had a wonderful time in the Lord with worship, a very dramatic presentation of the word.
There were some pretty epic moments.
yeah, yeah, very epic moments. It's funny, we haven't done something like that since this first one since the pandemic, after the pandemic.
hmm
Since we've been back in the building, a creative sermon, the way it was done. And, we hope that you all enjoyed the presentation. Bishop was just, it was good. Um, it was really good. And the Bible, Jesus taught by stories. Jeremiah, the Bible says, Jeremiah, Ezekiel did lessons through presentations, and that's what you saw yesterday. So if you missed it, go watch it. If you watched it, you were here, or you watched it, watch it again. Get something out of it. Um, it was just something to see. Uh, Felt like we're kind of getting our rhythm back with doing the dramatic presentations and stuff.
Yeah.
During
It
the
was
message.
great.
It was.
It was great. At one moment I was like, okay, what is going on? I didn't realize what was happening.
uh-huh.
But it was really good.
You
Like
didn't
I
know
said,
the worship meeting. We talked a little bit about
no,
what was
I
going on.
knew about that. I didn't know about everything.
Oh, everything. Oh, yeah.
I don't want to give it away for those who haven't seen it.
I know. We before the pandemic, and all for a while, we've always been known for our creative expressions during worship, and we're getting back to doing those again, like sermon wise and all that. Hold on, I gotta clean my camera off.
Squeaky, squeaky, squeak.
Had a little shine to it. Uh, so we're getting back to that. And welcome, hey Miss M, hey Helene, how you doing? Evangelist Maya is with us. Yes,
Oh boy.
I don't know about all that. All right, but go back and watch it. We're getting ready for our vacation Bible school this Wednesday.
Yeah.
If you have a child, you want to sign them up, come to Bible study on Wednesday. Bring your child, drop them off. The adults are having Bible study in the sanctuary while we are having vacation Bible school in the Harvest Hall. Hey Teresa, how you doing? So I'm doing something right now, sweetheart. I'll be right back. And put your shoes on too, okay? Thank you. Yeah. Uh,
Always on duty.
right. Vacation. I'll be out soon, okay? Vacation Bible School this Wednesday. Sign your child up. Bring them on. So again, while the adults are in Bible study, we will have Vacation Bible School in the back of the Harvest Hall. Our back to school drive's coming up very soon, the 31st. We're at Lindenwald High School. We're working on some places in Camden. Um, so, we'll let you know about that the more information we get. But bring your backpacks. You can buy them at 5 and Below in Cherry Hill. Drop them off. We're collecting up until that point. We're giving away everything on the 31st. You can buy a backpack from anywhere. Prefer, if you can, the 5 and Below in Cherry Hill by the Whole Foods. You can purchase them there and then bring them by the church. We're going to be praying over them on Wednesday, the 28th at Bible study. Wednesday, the 28th at Bible study. We're going to pray. Can you put that in your announcements too? We're going to pray over them that Wednesday.
Yeah, I think they've been, but I'll double check. Yeah.
Okay. No, check. I mean, I might have missed it. It's probably, it could be on there. I was just saying, just in case. But the 28th, we're going to pray over them at Bible study. If you don't feel like going to the store, you just want to, you could donate to it. Go to one of our giving platforms. You just click Catch the Fire, CTF, and you can give there. And we'll go out and we'll purchase the backpacks and make it work. We always try to help at least 1,500 kids during this time frame. All righty. So last week we got into a discussion. I don't know how we got into it. We ended off on purpose and relationships. Walking in your purpose, walking in your destiny, walking in what God has for you. The link is in the chat if you want to give towards the back to school drive. Because we kind of start talking about hookups, and just because you're somebody's friend doesn't mean you have to automatically assume that there's a hookup, especially if somebody's their income is based off what they do. Not realizing that the discount you want is eating into their ability to eat and live, right? And let the person offer it to you, not, assume.
Yeah.
But I think from a broader perspective, when God has a plan for your life, you have to learn to navigate your relationships appropriately. We can hit this from so many different vantage points. First one I'll say is God will bring people into your life to help you with what he's assigned for your life. And here's the thing. They may never be your friend, but they may just be somebody that you can connect with that God sends into your life to help you. I think sometimes we mix the two together and think that our friends are going to be great as it relates to our life purpose. And some of the people that God sends into our life purpose are going to be our friends. Sometimes somebody just going to be your friend and they'll support the best way that they can.
Yeah.
Right. They don't know nothing about what you do, but they're there for you. Right. And there are people that can help you with financially with what you do, wisdom, understanding, but they may never be a friend. You learn to keep what's personal and what's business. I'll use this for example. There are some people in my life, if I go out and preach or I got some ministry, they'll be there to support, but I ain't calling them for Bible tips. And that's okay. Sometimes we expect too much from certain people, and then we get disappointed when they don't meet our expectations for them.
Yep.
Rather than thanking God for how they can show up. Maybe they're just a voice that you can vent to. They'll pray for you, but they can't really give you the wisdom that you need, but you just need a listening ear and somebody to be there for support. Thank God for that. But I think sometimes we get so quick into, well, they ain't supporting me, so I'm throwing them away. But what if they are bringing you to support the best way that they can? Thank God for how they can bring it and what they bring to the table, rather than we over expect something from somebody and then we're mad at them because they can't do something that they're not capable of doing. And there are those people who can bring wisdom to you, mentorship to you. And guess what? You want to be their friend, but
they don't want you.
Friendship. And guess what? That's okay. Compartmentalize. If a business relationship happens to turn into something personal, great. If it doesn't, fine. If somebody is a great friend to you, but they can't be professionally what you need them to be, guess what? That's fine. You don't need them for that. You need them for this.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like it when we look at relationships as all or nothing when it comes to business. If they ain't there to support you and this so and so, cut them off. We automatically turn them into an enemy.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm talking about people that bring support, not those who don't support. I'm talking about, I'm qualifying it, not those who know you are starting something and they just are downing you and don't want nothing to do with it. I ain't talking about, I'm talking about people that can support you, you know, but we learn to compartmentalize and put people where they're strong at, and thank God for that. Rather than turning everybody into an enemy because they didn't support us in the way that we wanted them to.
Yeah.
Rather than just thanking God for the way they can.
And that's a real easy and quick way to get your feelings hurt, because I think it's really easy to expect people to treat you as you would treat them. And even sometimes we don't live up to that mindset of treating others as we would want to treat ourselves, right? Ourselves be treated. But yeah, no, this is something I had to learn growing up. You know, my mom would always say friends are in for a season or a reason. And it's really important that you kind of figure that out, because not everyone is there for you in the way that you think that they are or you expect them to be. But also being able to meet people where they are. You know, not everyone has the same experience as you or can give the same as you because of the experiences that they did have. So I think if you're able to come to it with grace instead of judgment and understanding, hey, look, this is just what they can do, that gives you an expectation of what you can do or what you can expect to receive. And I think that's a way of guarding your heart.
Yeah, because you're putting people, and again, I'm not talking about people that aren't supportive. I'm talking about people that are, that's a whole nother conversation. Those who claim to love you but don't support you. I'm talking about those who support, right? Like you said, what expectation should I have for this person based off their strengths, their abilities, and you know, it's okay, right? We want people to be excited about something that God gave to us. And you know what's crazy? We struggle to believe what God gave us, but then we're mad at other people that struggle to believe what God gave. If God gave it to you and you're the one having doubts about it, I mean, come on, let's think practically about this, you know? And, you know, I'm not talking about people that are just outright non-supportive. Because to me, if I claim to be your friend, we claim to be cool, I'm going to support in the best way that I can. In whatever way I can. But I just don't like that all or nothing. I'm ready to cut you off because I had an event, but you had prior plans and now you don't support me. You know, okay, thank you. You know, rather than, you know, it's like you said, we expect something from people that we're not willing to give ourselves. You know what's funny? It's like when we have something, we want everybody to drop what they're doing to come support us. But we want people to be understanding when they have something and we got something going on. Like you said, there's no perspective. You don't have to lose relationships over everything.
Yeah.
And again, I'm talking about supportive people, not those who claim to be your friend but don't want to help you in any way, shape, or form. It's learn. We bring our issues to the table. You know, this deeper thing now. We bring our issues to the table, and life events bring those out. So if I struggle with rejection, or I struggle with insecurity, or struggle with feeling loved, I interpret you being busy that day as you don't love me.
Yeah.
And ministry, business brings out our issues. So now it's not Maya has an event. I'm using this as an example. I'm not saying she should do this. Maya has an event, right? But I'm stuck doing X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, yo, I'll come to you next one. I can't come to, but you know, it's my first one. It's important to me. I know it's the first one, but I need to take care of X, Y, and Z. I'll try if I can. If I can't, I'll support you in another way. I'll buy a
Mhm.
ticket. I may not be able to come, but I'll buy a ticket.
Mhm.
You don't care. You don't love me. I'm not saying this is her. I'm just using this as an example.
Thank you for that clarification.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to use a live example.
Yeah.
I'll reverse it and use me.
No,
I
no,
can't
you're
look
good.
at it and say, I don't care about me, but if I'm dealing with already feeling rejected or feeling unloved and uncared for, I'll interpret her busyness as a slight against me
Mhm.
rather than the grace to understand, watch this, or the trust to know that
Yes.
she cares about me enough that if she has to miss this, what she's doing is important.
Mhm.
I think we get selfish sometimes when it comes to these things,
Yep.
rather than trusting her enough to say, you know what, if this is really is something she has to do, that's important.
Mhm.
And I trust her enough that if she was available, she'd be there. I flipped it so everybody feel comfortable.
No, no, you're good. But that's true. And so 2 thoughts. Definitely trust. I think that's a thing, trusting someone. How do I say this? I think sometimes we think that the person has more trust in us than they actually do.
Mm.
So then that can hurt your feelings because I'm like, wait, I thought you knew me better than this, than to think this of me.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. But even like what Tiffany said in the comments, we're human. People, things, life happens. Things just come up, and it's not a slight against you. But this came up that unfortunately has to take priority.
Appreciate it.
So for me, what it comes down to, and this is something that my friends don't always like, is communication.
Yeah.
And not coming, to it in a place of judgment or like, you did this and you didn't do that, and I thought you were here for me and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But even just thinking, okay, what's going on? We're having this issue right now. First, are you okay? And then being able to have dialogue about feelings or, whatever went down, but in a place of, caring for each other, a place of love and not judgment or trying to prove a point.
Yeah. I think, and Carolyn brings up a good point about expectations. I was talking to somebody and they were, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. The person was saying, we have to learn to remove the word should when it comes to expectations from people. We have an idea of what they should do, right? And that should keeps us in disappointment. So technically, if we're friends, here it is. Let's balance this out. Every relationship comes with an expectation. So if I say that we're cool, there's an expectation there. Here's the challenge. My expectation of cool is different than my expectation of cool, and vice versa. So if I think we're cool, right, our expectations are on 2 different places. So what I want can be different from what she wants, right? But here's the problem. If I don't voice my expectation to her, I get mad at her because she doesn't fulfill the expectation. Because if you ask 2 people, what's a friend to you? Both people will say something different. And the struggle is that this expectation being different, if we don't talk about these expectations, then I'm upset with you because you don't match what I have in my mind of what a friend is. Without us having a conversation about, for this relationship to work, friendship, date, marriage, whatever, what are expectations for each other? What's a friend to me, friend to you? And if your expectation of friendship doesn't match mine, then I got to be okay with, this is what you desire. This is what I desire. And if it doesn't link up, it's cool. We can just move on with our lives. But even if you ask people, what's love to you? Ask 5 people. All 5 of us will give a different answer. And then we're mad because you don't match my expectation for love, rather than realizing I don't have the right type of love for you. You don't have the right type of love for me. Let's wash our hands and let's go with our lives. It's okay. But again, we have, and I'm not saying that a friend, a spouse should treat you wrong. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is learning to come to an understanding of what an expectation is in a relationship and then work from there.
Yeah. And I think part of that is being very honest with yourself with what you will put up with and what you won't.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
where are your barriers? And then I think once you're able to really solidify what that is,
Mhm.
that kind of helps weed out the people who perhaps really aren't for you.
Yeah. Because the expectation is if you're my, and again, I'm talking about voiced expectations. If I
Mhm.
voice my expectation to you and you say, okay, I can do that, and you choose not to fulfill that, then my disappointment is more valid because I trusted you
Mhm.
because you said you were okay with it.
Mhm.
But we constantly have this unspoken expectation. I often say that sometimes we are the victims of our own expectations. We are the victims of our own expectations. We're blaming the person. Again, not justifying what a person does. And I ain't talking about no extreme stuff like abuse and, violence and all this stuff like that. I'm simply speaking of normal everyday stuff. If I'm expecting you to do something and I never told you my expectation,
Mhm.
I really can't get mad at you when I'm the one living in this expectation.
Mhm.
And then people don't have to match our expectations either. And guess what? If they don't want to, it's okay.
Yep.
But a lot of our disappointment with people is an unspoken expectation because we expect people to be who we want them to be
Mhm.
rather than accepting them for who they really are
Yep.
and knowing who they are and making a decision based off what we know about said person.
Right.
We preaching today.
And here's the other thing. Do you have realistic expectations? That's
Thank you.
another question.
Come on, talk.
There was a article I read this morning about this couple who's getting married,
Mm,
and to save money for their wedding, they charged their guest
mm,
$333 per person. And so, if they don't want to be at the wedding, they don't need to be there. They're not my friends, whatever, because they're not paying $333 to attend the wedding. That is not a realistic expectation. For me, I would not be your friend if that's how you're going to see me. No, I'm not your friend. It's okay.
I ain't
Isn't
your
that
friend.
ridiculous?
I ain't your friend. It's
No.
that's entitlement. That's entitlement.
Yep.
That's entitlement. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said be realistic. And I think that comes with being able to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Like, okay, maybe not to invalidate your feelings,
Mhm.
but are the expectations that I'm having with someone, are they, I guess for lack of better words, reasonable?
Yeah.
Given that there's two sides to every coin.
Absolutely. And in that case, if the roles are reversed, would you be willing to pay $300 some odd dollars to come to a wedding?
Mm-mm.
Most people that have an expectation like that, I can't speak for these people. I'm just saying in general. Most people that have an expectation like that won't do the same thing if the roles were reversed.
Mm-mm.
And that's my problem. If you want to expect something from somebody, are you willing to do that same thing? Like you hear we always hear the extremes. You hear these people, if you're gonna date me, you gotta do this for me, you gotta do this for me, you gotta pay for this, and so on and so
Mhm.
on. But are you willing to do the same thing? I think, how can I say this? I think this thing of, well, I'm the prize is reeks of entitlement.
Mhm.
So you gotta do all this stuff and you get me, that's the prize.
Right. Yep.
Really? Just you being there is the prize? I gotta shell out and do all this stuff. Are you serious?
Mhm.
But we often expect stuff from people that we're unwilling to be ourselves.
Mhm.
But if I want you to go the extra mile, then I got to be a person that demonstrates that extra mile. And if you're unwilling to do the extra mile like I am, then it's not the right relationship.
Yep.
Guess what? It's okay.
Yep.
But we expect stuff from people that we are unwilling to give ourselves.
Mhm.
Because how can I expect you to be faithful and I'm unfaithful? How can I expect you to be giving and I'm not giving?
Right.
But we often, if you're not careful, if we're not careful, entitlement will have you thinking the world owes you, and that's that unrealistic expectation. The world owes me.
Mhm.
Y'all, something was taken from me, something hurt me, and guess what? Now you owe me. And you get a new relationship and you demand something from a person that it had nothing to do with the person that hurt you.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at like, yo, our relationship is a privilege, it's now an entitlement.
Right.
It's not what I can give in this relationship, is what I can get out of it.
Yep.
We're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good conversation.
Yeah.
But
it's very real.
A lot of times we're a victim of our own expectations. And that when I counsel people, and even in my own life, if I'm disappointed with somebody with something, I start looking at, is the pain of my disappointment a result of my expectation? Now, again, I ain't talking about no crazy extreme stuff. I ain't talking about violence or people stealing from you.
Right.
And I ain't talking about those things. I'm talking about normal, everyday stuff. Am I upset because of my expectation? Because I want the person to act a certain way. And if the person not acting that way, it's not my job to change somebody's behavior. It's my job to change my expectation, because I can't control what people do. I can only control what I expect.
Right.
And based off a person's behavior, now because next we can talk about, once a person shows you who they are, believe them.
Yep.
They create, watch this, a person's behavior creates an expectation.
Mm-hmm.
So now I expect you to act like what you've shown me all your life.
Yep.
If you're always late, I don't expect you to come on time, so I don't get ready on time.
Mm-hmm.
One time you show up time, why ain't you ready? Hello, I'm gonna say something. Hello, you're never on time. You've created this expectation.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that people are telling about us are true, and it's hard for us to admit that we gave that person that expectation.
Yeah.
And
it hurts sometimes.
Yeah, it's well deserved. So, and when you're honest, you know what? When you look at it, I did give you the expectation, because when this happened, I did blah 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 blah, and I showed you who I was. But a lot of us, we get defensive rather than listening.
Yeah.
Because we look to defend ourselves. But again, that speaks to another thing. Lord, we're getting deep into this. That speaks to another thing. That if you correcting me hits me at a visceral level, the issue is not your correction, it's how I feel about myself. Because now I interpret, I spilled the milk, so I'm wrong about spilling the milk. I interpret that as, you don't like me, I'm not enough, I'm not blah, 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 I'm always messing up, blah, 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 blah. And the person's like, no, I'm only talking about spilled milk. But we heard through our experience, through what's going on, it's not just about the spilled milk. It's about the time I messed up when I was 5. It's about the time I did something when I was 10. It's about the time somebody hurt me when I was 12. The person has no idea about all this stuff. They talking about spilled milk, and we're like, what you trying to say about me? I'm a horrible person? No,
right.
Milk.
You milk spiller.
Right. But we hear things through.
Yeah.
We filter it through all that. So again, it goes back to, we got to start looking at us. And there's growth and accountability.
Yes.
And as hard as it is, and it's not easy to look in the mirror. It is not easy to look in the mirror. I'll be the first one to tell you. It's not hard. It's not easy, but sometimes we need to look in that mirror, and life will turn that mirror around. And you say, you know what? It ain't everybody else.
Yep.
I'll say this last point and I'm done. It's like somebody going from relationship to relationship. All these people, I can't trust nobody, or all these people hurt me. There's only one common denominator.
Yep.
You keep choosing people that aren't good for you. Eventually, you got to get to the place where you look in the mirror and say, you know what? I might be the problem as it relates to my picker. It can't be everybody else if it's the same problem everywhere you go in every relationship you get.
Right.
Pastor, are you trying to say I'm a horrible person? No, I'm just saying in this one area, there needs to be some growth and change. But if you can't look in the mirror, and looking in that mirror is not easy at all. Whew, it's not easy. It is hard. But it's necessary for growth. And God will allow life to turn that mirror around.
Yeah. No, it's real easy to kind of sit and be content in that until it's not. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, I went on a rant, Ray. Sorry.
No, it's very true. It's very true. Accountability is one of those hard pills to swallow. But it's something that if I guess you're in a mindset of wanting to grow and do better,
Mhm.
you need to go through it to get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And check our filters.
yep.
Making one mistake doesn't say, what does that say about me as a person? You made a mistake. It doesn't mean that one mistake defines everything about who you are as a person. You know, but I think sometimes we do that. But we're touching a whole bunch of psychological, deeper issues, but we need to be healed from these filters, these negative filters, because we're filtering, we're processing things in deep ways. And I go back to it. I heard it, Father John Bear say it months ago. Our interactions with people teach us more about us than it does about the other person.
Mm.
What does my interaction with that person say about me?
Yeah.
Because if this person's triggering something in me, God's trying to show me something about me, not as much about that person.
Yeah.
Because why am I being triggered by that?
Right.
All right.
Very
Praise the Lord. Leave y'all thinking about some stuff. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I sure did. It helped myself out a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Good. All right. We do have tomorrow as well. Diamonds, right?
So tomorrow's Diamonds, in person only.
Mhm.
And then Wednesday we have our Bible study, noonday with Pastor Nick, in person with Bishop Evans.
Yes.
And then, of course, on Saturday, On Point Radio, starting at 9 a.m. It's a great opportunity for you to call in, ask questions, get answers, and just have real conversation with Bishop and Pastor Nick during the time.
Yeah.
Then a full day of worship on Sunday with our virtual service at 8 a.m. And then we have a special guest for Women's Day.
That's right. Wednesday's Sunday, yeah.
Yep. So Bishop R.C. Blakes is going to be here at 11 a.m. To talk about Queenology with the topic Arise, Queen, or Arise.
Yes.
So definitely want to make sure that you come out with us on this day. Call up someone because it is Transforming Lives Month. So call up someone, let them know to come with you in service in person, or if you are not local to where we are, send them the link so they can watch and just really get part of what's going to go on this upcoming Sunday. So a lot of good things happening.
Yep, a lot of good things. Thank you all for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this. I know we went a little deep. We'll pick it up next week and talk more about relationships and purpose in life. And God bless y'all. I'm hungry. We'll see you later. Bye.